Struggled, but it's working. What are you eating? What are you eating? Somehow the cat got a hold of some meat. What is that? That been thrown up? And it just looks like chicken breast or something. What is that? Some old bacon or something? You shouldn't eat that. You got kibble. Yeah, I thought I smelled a bad smell. Looks like one of the neighborhood cats. One of the ones I'm not familiar with. Bit the dust. Wonder what got him. That fox or stray dog or something? I don't know. But yeah, I smelled the bad smell, tracked it down. Poor dead cat. That's why you got to get these cats fixed and, tamed and put indoors. It's better for their health. Alright, anyways, let's see, what should I do? Just regular pull-ups or weighted pull-ups? I think I'll do weighted pull-ups. Chains. Those two chains added together is 20 pounds. Or do I want to add a little bit extra weight? No, I think I'll stick with that. That's still pretty good and challenging. You don't need to push pull-ups all the way to the absolute limit to still get gains from them. Even just a few pull-ups, not even taking it to failure, will still get you some pretty good progress. It's kind of an unusual movement that way. Alright, here's where the corpse was. You can see quite a bit of fur around here. Pretty sure that's post-mortem. I'm not seeing any. There's a wet spot where some of the juice is leaked out. I can still smell it. Let's see, footprints. There's some ants that were eating on the body. A bunch of flies that are eating on the body. What's that? Is that a track? Yeah, that looks like it might be a track. Something standing right there, kicking its feet, eating that. That looks probable. Am I seeing anything on the foliage here? No. Not seeing any other hairs or identifying marks. So, pretty sure this cat died somewhere else. And was drugged here. So what did that? Well, I'm not seeing anything. Well, looky here. That looks like cat puke. That's what Whitey here's been eating. So yeah, looks like cat puke in my backyard. 2 instances of it. And a dead cat out in the alleyway. So if somebody in this neighborhood has been poisoning cats, I am going to beat them to death. It's now a murder investigation. Let's see. That was the first instance of cat puke right there. This was second instance over here somewhere. So draws a straight line this direction here by the fig tree. No. Nothing by the pull-up bars. Anything in there? No. Must have come through here. That's how the cat would like to be. There's some old dried feces. What animal is that, huh? It's fibrous. So near as I can figure, cat must have come through here, gone across here, through here. Hello, kitty. All along here, puked there, there, and made its way across here, out to where it finally died. Slipping through that hole in the fence, and died there. Maybe it went through here. Died there. No, it's too big of a cat for that. Must have gone through there. Where did the cat go here? Maybe it was drugged by something. Well, after reviewing the evidence, I think that cat might have gotten to some ham. Ham has nitrites in it. Nitrites and nitrates and everything like that. Pretty sure that ain't good for a cat. Judging by the volume of it, that might have poisoned the cat. So yeah, I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just the cat got into something that shouldn't have been eaten, like you do sometimes, and got the bad end of the stick. It's unfortunate. I know there's several of us on the block who take care of cats, but we all know what we're doing. We wouldn't give them anything like ham or anything like that. Huh. Well, yeah, I'll say that's probably the most reasonable situation. Just have to keep an eye on her, make sure she doesn't eat anything strange. She'll probably sniff out any of the puke around here if there's any more of it. I think I got all of it. 2 instances. I mean, that looked like about the volume of a cat's stomach if I was to guess at that sort of thing. So yeah, hopefully that's the end of it. Yeah, it's always depressing finding a dead animal. Alright, let's see. I think I'll warm up my triceps because I've been running around doing a little murder investigation. Then I'll do some heavier pullover tricep extensions. Yeah, slap some 45s on there. I've been reacclimating myself to those. I think I'm good for 45s on each side now. Alright, I'll warm up some bicep curls. Then I think I'll do a set with the 45s. do not let your animals eat processed meat. And you don't eat it either. It ain't good for you. It's got all types of chemicals. Other than the chemicals you should be eating, like protein. Alright, let's watch this cat. See if he eats anything. I think that cat that died might have come into my backyard for the water. Always putting water out for all the critters. Yeah, that makes sense. Came back here for the water because it wasn't feeling good. Drank, puked twice, and died. Alright, all warmed up. Maybe some curls. Little body English, but it's good to do real heavy stuff every now and then in curls just because you're swinging it away from your body. You kind of have to use little body English in order to properly subject your muscles to the weights. Not an everyday affair, obviously. You need heavy weight, medium weight, flat weight, low reps, high reps, medium reps. You need all that in order to properly develop. So yeah. Alright, I'm not going to do these flies straight out to the side. I'm going to bring them down a little bit for the bicep, front delt, and upper pec, upper back. I'm not going to do them with dead straight locked out arms, flexed triceps. I'm going to do them with slightly bent arms just to not kill my bicep too much. My right bicep is still sore from those locked out elbow flies. What was that noise? Oh, anyways. So, yep, that's the plan. Alright, overhead press. So, under that dead cat, and then coming to the conclusion that it was what it ate that had killed it, it really made me angry. Of course, just seeing a dead cat made me angry, anyways. But it's important whenever you feel feelings of anger like that to not react physically in a physically aggressive manner. Right? Don't hit the bag, don't lift weights, don't do things like that, because what you do when you do that is you train yourself whenever you feel anger to react in a physically destructive manner. And human beings really are that simple. If you get angry and then you go hit the heavy bag, well, next time you get angry, your fists are going to start itching. And, that just ain't conducive to a proper society. So, yeah, it's important to talk things out, even if you're just talking to yourself, or, like I did, try to figure out what's going on, try to understand the situation better. Something that's conducive and useful, not something that just winds up with somebody getting hurt. It's a proper way to react to those type of things. Anyways, now that I'm a lot more calm, I can finish up my workout, do some overhead press. Because after all, your mind is a muscle. The way you train it is the way it will behave. So, just keep that in mind. You get angry, cool. You're supposed to get angry at things. That's a proper emotion to feel. You get sad, good. That's a proper emotion to experience in the proper time. But you have to learn how to deal with these things properly in order to be a functioning member of society. And more and more, I'm seeing people they just cannot handle life. They're emotionally stunted. They do not have the correct reactions to things. They get angry, they just fly off the handle and do all types of nonsense. And a lot of that is media. Media pushes people to be angry, and then, well, what do you do with that anger? Oh, you buy merchandise. Well, you can see the scam there. They're training people to get angry, and then, buy Trump 2028 hats or some BS. It's all a scam to take your money. Haven't done those in a while. Forms with love. Yeah. Well, I'll work with that for a few days, and then I'll get better at it. May not be getting them up very high, but I'm certainly pulling with my deltoid. I can feel the strain right into that side deltoid. So yeah, it's an effective weight to use. You can use weights that are too heavy for you to do perfect form, as long as you're feeling it in the muscle and feeling it the correct way. If you're consciously contracting the muscle, of course you have to have that skill to be able to do it. So definitely not a beginner thing. Beginners should stick to light weights until they can use them properly and consciously activate any particular muscle. Like for instance, your pecs. If you can't make your pecs bounce, if I can get that on camera. If you can't make your pecs bounce, then you shouldn't do heavy weights on flies or anything like that, because you can't consciously contract the pectoral. If you can't consciously squeeze your bicep in a curl, then you got no business doing cheek curls. All right, here's some 25s. Of course, you can't neglect your lighter weights either. You have to do those too. Otherwise, you'll lose everything you train for. Obviously, lateral raises, you can just keep doing all day. You can always pull your arms out to the side just a little bit. But you certainly have to do enough to be effective to stimulate the deltoid. And deltoids require a lot of stimulation to grow. But I think that's enough for me. All right, good workout. Yeah, you certainly look like you're happy. You certainly look like you're still healthy. Didn't eat too much of that ham. Yeah. And I've been out here for a few hours just monitoring little sweetie here. She's fine.